crabs in a bucket. We know the phrase. It means that every time we start working toward reaching our God-given goals and destiny, there's always somebody who will come and try to be a hindrance and stop you from getting there. Often it's someone you trust and someone that you have no ill will against. I was reading the book of 1 Kings chapter 13, and it's the story of the man of God whom God sent to King Jeroboam to speak against the altar after he had set up idol worship. He told the man of God that once you go and do what I've asked you to do, do not eat or drink in that place, and don't go back the way that you came. Very clear about his instructions. And so the man of God did what God asked him to do. And the altar was split and the ashes were poured out. And when the king came to attack him or sent his servants to attack him, God stood up for him and protected him. And the king ends up offering him a reward, to which he says, you can offer me half the kingdom. And I wouldn't accept it because God told me not to eat or drink in this place or go back the way that I came. And I won't do it. And it looked like the man of God was going to be all right because he knew, he understood exactly what God wanted him to do. Yet for some reason, as he's going about obeying God's order, found a different way so that he wouldn't go back the way he came. Here comes a lying prophet. An older prophet comes to him and he says, come and eat with me. An angel of the Lord spoke to me and told me that you need to come and eat with me. And the man of God, who was so firm in his convictions when he spoke to King Jeroboam, believes this lying prophet. And he goes and eats dinner with him. And while he's eating dinner, he says to him in the middle of dinner, as the Lord spoke to him, telling the truth now, the Lord says, I told you not to eat or drink or go back the way that you came. And because you've been disobedient, your body will not go back to its ancestral tomb. And after the man of God finishes his meal and prepares to go on his way, a lion meets him on the road and kills him and tears him to pieces. And the lying prophet says, this is the man of God who disobeyed the word of the Lord and didn't do what God said. And when I read that, I was so troubled because what it says to me is that when we are about our Father's business, the devil will do anything in his power, use anybody he can, even people you trust, to for no reason come and hurt you and get you off track. And sometimes it will have disastrous results. I share this not to scare anybody, but to remind you that when you made those New Year's resolutions, when you set those goals for yourself, understand that there's an enemy out here seeking to kill, steal, and destroy, and he does not want you to make it. And so my prayer is that when you know what you're supposed to be doing, do it and don't play around. One of the troubles that we have, and why I call this Keep It Moving, is that sometimes people will manipulate us, take advantage of our kindness to get us outside of the will of God. Sometimes we're more concerned about their feelings than our destiny. There are people who you trust who you would do anything for, who will get you off course for no other reason than because the devil will use them to keep you from getting somewhere. He knows we know our enemies. He knows we know our haters. But sometimes it's the people that you love the most. And that's why when Peter tried to stop Jesus from going to the cross, he said, "Get thee behind me, Satan." Because there's some things that you have to do that people who claim to love you will try to keep you from doing and try to keep you where they are when God is calling you to be somewhere else. And I say this because it is so important to understand that when God gives us his word, he is not playing with us. He is not playing with us. There are things that the Lord wants to do in our lives, and we can mess around and destroy our future fooling around with people who are not going the same place we're going. And they rather tear it up than see you succeed. Some of us need to deal with our esteem. We need to deal with some dysfunctional, toxic relationships, not just the romantic ones. There's some relationships that you have that are in the workplace, that are sometimes relatives, and people who do not bring out the best in you, who will not help you stay on track and will destroy your future. And so my prayer for you is, if you know what you're supposed to do and God has given you instruction, do it. Because when you disobey and things go awry, just like that lying prophet, it never says why he lied. And he's a prophet, he shouldn't have been lying anyway. But he sought the man out, invited him to his home, fed him. And because he didn't look like an enemy, and because he showed some kindness, the prophet trusted him. The man of God trusted this prophet. And he couldn't trust him because he was lying for no reason. So I say to you, don't let yourself be manipulated or deceived into being in a place you're not supposed to be. Sometimes you're in the wrong place at the wrong time. It's nothing like being at the right place at the right time. And sometimes you could be at the right place, but the enemy will come and make sure that while you're on your way to the right place, that you don't be there at the right time because you're somewhere you're not supposed to be and you're delaying the process and there's a lion on the road. I hope that's a word of caution for somebody. Some of us keep dealing with the same issues. Deal with that dysfunction. Some of us are so strong, but when it comes to certain people, and when it comes to certain things, they are our kryptonite and we know it and we don't leave them alone. There's somebody that's going to cause you to lose your temper. There's somebody trying to pull you back into a situation, and you're going to find that when you get there, you're not going to be able to get out. Samson continued to play with Delilah till he couldn't get out. The Lord saved him over and over and over. But he kept playing with her. And he played with her one time too many. Please protect your interests. Please protect your future. You say, who's worried about little old me and my little old dreams and goals? The devil. There's a demon assigned to you. I'm saying what I got to say because I want to see you make it. Too many sad stories told. Please please keep it moving. Keep it moving, keep it moving, keep it moving.